Assalamu alaikum, good morning. Are you hearing me, students? Please reply. If you are listening me properly, please reply in the chat box so that I can understand whether you are hearing me properly or not. Okay, very good, Nawal. Other students, please reply. I am waiting for your reply, please. I am also waiting for other students to join the class so that I will start my today's lecture. I'm just waiting for the other students to join my class. Then after that, I will start my lecture. Now, I want to inform you that from now onwards, whichever assignments I will upload, you will have to submit or complete during the winter break. Okay. And after that, I will announce a new date for the submission of the assignments, and you will have to submit on the assigned date. So, complete all assignments of language and literature during the winter break. Whatever assignments will be uploaded in the next week or yesterday. Yesterday I have uploaded another assignment. You have to go through the Google Classroom and then find it out and complete all the assignments which will be assigned in the next week also from Monday onwards, and complete them during the winter break in the language and literature journals. Okay, and then I will give you or announce another date or new date of submission of those assignments. So I'm going to start my today's lecture. It is English literature lecture number 56. This is a review of Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai, and this is the part 1 of the review. So I want to give you a brief written reading here. Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai, who is lovingly called Lal Latif by his devotees, was a noted Sindhi Sufi scholar, mystic saint, and poet. You all know about Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai, who was a very much famous Sindhi scholar and poet. He was lovingly called Lal Latif by his devotees. He is considered as the greatest Muslim poet of the Sindhi language. Information about Nawal, whatever you want to discuss it after the lecture. Okay, I will give you some time. Whatever you want to ask, discuss it in that time. Information about the life of Hitai has almost been has mostly been collected from the oral traditions. Oral traditions, you all know that from word to word, from mouth to from one person to another. A renowned Pakistani scholar, educationist, and writer of plays, dramas, and stories, Mirza Khalij Bey, is said to have collected details about the early life of Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai from some of the old people living at that time. The person whose name was Mirza Khalij Bey, he was a renowned, yeah, that means famous scholar. He was also the writer of the plays, dramas, and stories. He was also the educationist. He collected the information about the early life of Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai from the people, old people living at that time. These people had heard these facts from their fathers and great grandfathers, some of whom had seen Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai in person and had even spoken to him. Now, Mirza Khalij Bey collected the information from the people who heard the stories or the facts about Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai and some of those people have heard those stories or information from their fathers and grandfathers, as well as some of the people were having the honor to meet Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai in person. In person means personally they have met him and he had even spoken to him. As a Sufi poet, Latif's Urs is held at his shrine every year on 14th Safar. That is the second month of the Muslim calendar. That means the Islamic calendar. You all should know that Safar is the second Islamic month of our calendar. And because he was a Sufi poet, so his urs is held every year at his shrine on 14th of Safar. 14th Safar is actually the his date of death. Tha- at this Urs, what happened? Thousands of people gather and listen to the same song sung on the tamburo. Tamburo was the musical instrument invented by Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai himself. So at the Urs, thousands of people gather there and listen to the same song sung on the tamburo. Some of the people sing the song of Shabdul Latif Bhitai. He was a very good musician as well. He invented a musical instrument which was known as tamburo. So the people sing the songs on tamburo. Many learned men read papers that tell about Shah Latif's life and his poetry. Many learned men. Learned means educated man. It is not learned, or you can say the second form of learned. It is not learned. It is actually the adjective here, which is learned, which is pronounced as learned. Men read papers that tell about Latif's life and his poetry. Some of the key aspects shared by different scholars about Lal Latif are given below. Now, some of the details about his life, his different aspects of his life has been collected by different people, and it has been given in the form of different paras under different headings here. So, I want to explain those also. Now, the first heading is background and family. It means in this paragraph, everything is written about his family members and his background. Shah Latif's ancestral roots lay in Afghanistan. It means his forefathers lived in Afghanistan, and some historians say that the Shah's father, Sayyid Habib Shah, it was the name of the father of Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai. He migrated from Matiaru, his ancestral home in Afghanistan. That was a place in Afghanistan, and some historians said that his father came from that place, Matiaro, to Bhenpur in Sindh. Bhenpur is the place in Sindh, and Matiaro is a place in Afghanistan. So his father lived in Matiaro, so he came from Matiaro to Bhenpur in order to gain spiritual contact with Bilawal, a local pious man. Now, why he had come there here? Because he want to contact and get the spiritual knowledge from a pious man or from a very very kind man here, one very religious man whose name was Bilawal. Others say that. Others means others. Other historians say that his ancestors migrated to Sindh from Herat. It means there was two information given here. First of all, the historian said that his ancestors came from Afghanistan, but some historians said that his ancestors came from Herat. Sindh was then a center of Muslim culture. It means in those days, Sindh was a center of Muslim culture. Everything was there, or people were living as a true Muslim, or if true Muslim culture was established at that time in the Sindh. And Shah Latif's ancestors liked it so much that they decided to make it their home. Shah Latif's ancestors liked the culture of Muslims in Sindh, so they liked it so much that they decided to make it their home. It means they decided to live there forever. Now, the second heading The name Bhitai. How he got the name Bhitai. I hope you are understanding. In 1742, Shah Latif left his home and went to live on a mound at some distance from his village. Actually, Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai was living in a village and in a village, and for some reason he left his home and went to live on a mound at some distance from his village. The mound was near his village. A mound of sand is called bhit in Sindhi. In the Sindhi language, mound of sand is called bhit, and because of that, due to that, the fact that he lived on this mound for the rest of his life, or till the end of his life, Shah Latif came to be known as the Saint of Bhit because he lived there on a mound till the end of their life. So he came to be known as the Saint of Bhit. To this day, he is famous all over the country as Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai or Shah Latif of the Mount. So he was known from that time all over the country and became famous by the name Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai, or he was also called as Shah Latif of the Mount. I hope you have understood till here. Now I come to the third heading. It is about his early life and education. Shah Bittai was born in 1689 AD, that is 14th Safar 1102 AH, in a small village called Hala Haveli. His village name was Hala Haveli and he was born on that date 1689 AD and 14th Safar 1102 AH, a few miles to the east of the present town of Hirsha. Now, Hala Haveli is a small village which is near the Bhidsha, which is a town. Latif was raised during the golden age of Sindhi culture. It means Shah Latif was brought up when the Sindhi culture was at its peak, and it was called the golden age of Sindhi culture. His first teacher was Akhund Noor Muhammad Bhatti. The name of his first teacher was Akhund Noor Muhammad Bhatti, but mainly he was self-educated. It means he did not get the education from schools and college, whatever, but he was self-educated. He took the knowledge or he got the knowledge from different means, but not by the simply by taking from the school or the college. Although he received little formal education. Formal education means when the education has been taken from the school or the college, or academic education. The Risalo provides proof that he knew Arabic and Persian quite well. The Risalo of Shah Abdul Latif, in which the knowledge or the information about Shah Abdul Latif was also given about his music and about his articles and poetry. So the Risalo has got the proof that he knew Arabic language and Persian language quite well because he wrote some articles or some poetry in Arabic and Persian language as well. Various references in Shahjo Risalo indicate that he had in depth knowledge of the Holy Quran and the Hadiths as well. And in Shahjo Risalo, many references have been given in which the people understood by reading that Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai had got a very great knowledge about Holy Quran and the Hadiths. His poetic collections included the Masnavi of Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi and Shah Karim's poems. His poetic collection, what was it, Shajo Risalo, it included the Masnavi of another person, Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi, and it also got the poems of Shah Karim. The next heading which I'm going to explain is youth. That means the young age of Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai. It is about the young age of Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai. Young Shah Latif had a very sensitive mind. He was a very sensitive person. While he was only a boy, he started composing poetry. It means at a very early age of his life, he started composing poetry. His admiration for the beauty of nature filled his heart with the love of God. He liked the beauty of nature. He was very much attracted with the natural things, and because of that, he knew that these natural things and the beautiful things of the nature has been created by God, Allah, and because of that, his heart was filled with the love of God. In 1713, the Sufi poet married with Bibi Saida Begum. It was the name of his wife, Bibi Saida Begum. His wife died at an early age. After his marriage, his wife died very early and before she could have any children. They don't have any children. However, Shah never married again. And after that, Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai never married. His heart turned more and more towards religion and devotion, and he felt restless. His heart becomes more attracted towards religion and devotion, and he felt restless. He did not feel comfortable in the normal life. He found it difficult to live a normal domestic life. So he found it very much difficult for him to live a normal life like other people because he was too much attracted towards religion and devotion. Now, this is the part one of the review. I want to give you quick review points of these four headings in detail here. Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai was a Sindhi Sufi scholar, mystic saint, and poet. You all know about him that he was the scholar, saint, as well as the poet. Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai was lovingly called Lal Latif by his devotees. Devotees means his followers. His followers called him Lal Latif and they are following him, and because of that they call him Lal Latif. He was a greatest Muslim poet of Sindhi language. He was one of the greatest Muslim poet of Sindhi language at that time. A renowned scholar, renowned means famous scholar, Mirza Khalid Beg collected details about the early life of Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai. He was the person who found the details or who collected the details about the early life of Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai. Now, some other points about the review. Shah Latif's ancestral roots laid in Afghanistan. Ancestral roots means his forefathers lived in Afghanistan. I have told you that there were two things or two informations given about his ancestors. The first information given by the historians was that his ancestral roots laid in Afghanistan, that his father lived in Afghanistan, and from there he came to Sindh. But other historians said that his ancestors migrated to Sindh from Herat, another place. Okay. So these were the two informations. No one has confirmed it. Sindh was then a center of Muslim culture. It was the center of Muslim culture at that time when his forefathers came to Sindh. Shah Latif's ancestors liked it so much, like the culture of the Muslims in Sindh at that time so much that they decided to make it their home. Make it their home means they have decided to live there for the whole life, for the rest of their lives. Now, some other points. Shah Abdul Latif left his home and went to live on a mountain. I have told you that his heart turned towards the religion and devotion, and because of that, he did not want to live his in home. He wanted to live alone, and because of that, he went to live on a mount. A mound of sand is called Bhit in Sindhi. It um, the mound of sand is called Bhit in Sindhi. In Sindhi language, it is called Bhit, and because of that, he was called as Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai. He became famous all over the country as Shah Abdul Latif Bidai when he started living on a mound and he lived there till the end of his life. And he was also called Shah Latif of the Mount. I hope you are understanding everything very clearly. Now, some other points about his early age. Shah Abdul Latif Bidai was born in 1689 AD, that is 14 Safar 1102 AH, in a small village called Hala Haveli. The village where he was born, its name was Hala Haveli. Hala Haveli is not a house, it is the name of the village. He was raised during the golden age of Sindhi culture. It means he was brought up during the golden age of Sindhi culture. At that time, Sindhi culture was at its peak, and which is called the golden age of Sindhi culture. He received little formal education. He did not receive the education from the school and the college. He received very little bit of education, that is formal education, like from a school or somewhere else. It is not mentioned in the text. He knew Arabic and Persian quite well. How does people know that uh, he knew Arabic and Persian quite well? Because of the Risala of Shah Abdul Latif Pitai. There were some proofs there that Shah Abdul Latif Pitai knew the Arabic and Persian language quite well. There were some other information in the Risala of Abdul Latif Pitai which had given the information that he had in-depth knowledge of the Holy Quran as well as the Hadiths. You should know that what are Hadiths. In 1713, Shah Latif married with Bibi Saida Begum. That was the name of his wife, Bibi Saida Begum. His wife died at an early age. His wife died at an early age after his marriage. Shah Abdul Latif never married again as he found it difficult to live a normal domestic life. Actually, when he found that his heart turned towards religion and devotion, he did not want to live a normal domestic life, and because of that, he never married again. Domestic life means the lives living, the normal life lived by lived by the people. Shah Abdul Latif had a very sensitive mind. He was very sensitive by nature. He started composing poetry when he was only a boy. It means at a very early age of his life, he started composing poetry. His admiration for the beauty of nature filled his heart with the love of God. Admiration means attraction for the beauty of nature. He loved the beauty of the nature, and because of that, all know that Allah has created everything. So his heart is filled with the love of God. His heart turned more and more towards religion and devotion. Now, because of the admiration of the beauty of nature and his love to God grew more and more, and for that reason, his heart turned more and more towards religion and devotion. He was so much attracted towards the religion and devotion. He wanted to live his life to, he actually devoted his life for Allah. I hope you have understood everything. There are some review questions which I want you to answer me in the chat box. Write the answers in the chat box. I'm reading these questions first. When and where was Shah Abdul Latif born? It means you have to write the date as well as the place where he was born. Next question was what was Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai called by his devotees? You should remember this name. What was he called by his devotees? Next is question is what is amount of sand called in Sindhi? Okay, this is the most easy question. Was the name of the Shah Latif's wife? It is also a very simple question. So I want you to answer my questions. I've, I'm giving you only 1 minute. After that, you will start writing the questions so that I will reply your answers. Okay? I hope you have understood everything very clearly. Now this is the time to answer my questions. Please reply in the chat box. Okay, Nawal, you have got one question. We do not have to submit the copies on coming Friday. We have to collect the copies that are in school. Yes, yes, Nawal, you have understood my point. There will be no submission of the homeworks in the coming Friday because Friday will be off. There, that was 25th of December. It means from that day your winter vacations will begin or started will start, and because of that we are not taking any copies from you. We just give your copies back which are in school. Dua Kashin, Mound of Sand is called Britain Sindhi, very good. Nimrash Abdul Latif was born in 1684 in a small village called Hala. Well, 1684 is not, I think, right. Please make it correct. Shah Abdul Latif is called Lal Latif by his devotees. Dua, very good. Shah Abdul Latif was called Lal Latif by his devotees. Zubia, very good. Nimra, Shah Latif was called Lal Latif by his devotees. Very good. Please write the name Lal Latif with capital letter. Nawal, I mean, when we have to collect the copies that are in school before Friday, Nawal, we will inform you the date, okay? So don't get worried. We will return your all copies in a school before your winter vacations. Nimra, that's right, the 1689. Very good. Minhal, Shabdul Latif was called Lal. What you have written, it is wrong. Please do it, write it correctly again. Nimra, sorry, miss tapping mistake, Nimra. Okay, it's okay. Now you have corrected it. Nawal, I think you have understood my point. Very good of you. Now I am telling you again to all the students who have not joined me in the beginning because I have informed you that we will return your copies all the journals of all subjects before your winter break started, that is before 25th of December, and we will not collect any of the homework copies on that day. We will collect all the given assignments by assigning a new date to you, by announcing a new date of homework submission, and you will have to submit all the assignments which we will upload in the next week also of language and literature on that date. Okay, so go through the Google Classroom every day so that you will not miss the instructions or the announcements. Very good, Nawal. Shaladeep was born in 1689, 14th Safar in Hala Valley. Very good. Mineral Mound of Sand was called Britain Sindhi. Very good. Dua Shaladeep was born in 1689 in a small village called Hala Valley. Very good. Nawal Shaladeep was called Laladeep by his devotees. Very good. Abiha Shaladeep was called Laladeep. Very good. Dua Shaladeep's wife name was Bibi Sada Begum. Very good. I think the spelling of Sada is not right, so do write it again with the correct spelling. Nimram is my English literature copy is finished. I have not submitted it on Friday. I have to do my work, so now I have to buy a new journal or I can make a portion in English language. Nimra, you have to purchase a new copy because there will be a lot of work after the winter vacations in the literature journals as well as language journals. So it is not right to make a portion in English language journal because I will assign you some winter vacation homework of English language also. So please purchase a new copy as soon as possible. Okay, so that you will complete all the work during winter vacations and submit on the date which will be assigned to you. Navala with Mount of Sandus Colbitton Sindhi, very good. Nimra, very good. You can understand my point. I will purchase you. Okay, okay, Nimra, please purchase it as soon as possible. And it is the instructions for all the students. If your copy or the English or language or English literature journal will go, it is almost finished. So please purchase a new one. Minhal Shalatik was born in 1689 in a small village called Hala Haveli. Very good. Abiha Shalatik was in a small village, Hala Haveli, 1689. Very good. Nawal Shalatik's wife name is Saida Begum. Very good. Bibi Saida Begum. Okay, you have to write the full name of his wife. Okay. Now, please, if you want to ask any other thing, ask me. There is a lot of time today. Now you know that there will be some other lectures in the coming week as well, and I will assign you the homework as well. Some two assignments. I think two assignments will be given to you in the next week. One assignment I have already uploaded yesterday. So please be careful. You have to complete all the assignments of language and literature and the respective journals during winter break. Please be very careful and complete everything during your winter vacations as well as learn all the things. Okay? Amount of sand is called pittance in the very good Abhiya. And you should remember that your midterm will be coming soon, so you have to prepare for the midterm as well. All the language work assigned to you, all the literature work has been given to you to learn for the midterm as well, and you have to prepare for the board exams as well. So learn everything which has been done in your language and literature journals, and please read your books very carefully many times. Any other thing which you want to ask, please ask me. I'm waiting. Do you have any question? Please ask me. If you have got any question, please ask me. Okay, Abhiya, you have written the correct name. Shah Latif's wife name was Bibi Saida Begum, but spelling is wrong. Write the correct spelling of Saida Begum. It is not the correct spelling. Now I want to inform you that I will upload the today's lecture after some time on the Google Classroom. So you have to go through there. If there is any confusion in the lecture, you will solve it by reviewing it, by listening it as well. Now purchase the copy journals, new journals for literature and language if your journals are finished. Yes, Abhiya, you have written the correct spelling now, Bibi Sada Begum. Very good. Now you should remember all the names with the correct spellings, complete names with correct spellings, please. Okay? Remember everything. You have to learn everything, and for your board exam as well as for your midterm. Do practice of all the language work given in your journals, all the topics, tenses, voices, prefix, suffix, articles. Do practice for all these topics. If you want to ask any other thing about your submission of the assignments, then you can ask me. Okay, little time is left, so you can ask me whatever you want to ask. I hope you have understood the topic very clearly. It is the review of the lesson Shaktu Latif Itai. Now there will be another part of the review of this lesson. Remember all the details about Shaktu Latif Itai and other lessons as well. There are only 5 lessons included in literature in the for this session for board examinations according to the reduced syllabus. I hope you have gone through the reduced syllabus as well of English, which has been uploaded on the Google Classroom as well, and do practice of all the exercises given in your book, in your literature book as well. Okay, because these exercises are also very much important for your exams. Read the lessons very carefully many times, so that if there is any short question come in the exam, you can easily solve it or you can easily answer it. You have to submit literature and language both journals after the winter vacation to so complete all work of English language and English literature. If any work is incomplete, do complete it during the winter vacations. I hope you are listening everything and have understood the topic as well as the instructions given by me during this lecture. Now the time is going to over. Okay, very good of you, Minal. You have replied. I hope you all have understood everything clearly. So I am going to end my lecture here. Okay. Inshallah, we will meet on Monday. Okay. Allah Hafiz. I am going to stop here. Allah Hafiz.